Hey, MJ here. Welcome to the final episode of Topography Principles in the Daily Life of a Motion Designer. Today, I'll walk you through the last two principles. Let's wrap up this series with some exciting techniques. Previously on the daily life. Principle number 1. Fixed range selector with animated properties. Principle number 2. Animated range selector with fixed properties. And now for principle number 3. Change the shape, use fixed properties, and animated the offset from -100 to +100. Let's dive into this principle. First, create a new composition and type out principle 03. Next, add position and rotation properties. Move the position down slightly and rotate it to 180 degrees. Now let's animate it. Adjust the start parameter in the range selector and you'll see each character moving up individually. Notice how each character waits until the previous one reaches its spot before moving, thanks to the square algorithm. The square setting found in the Shape tab under the Advanced section controls the flow of these movements. These shape options like square, ramp up, ramp down, and etc. define how properties like position, rotation, scale, and opacity move through the text. Choosing different shapes lets you make animations feel sharper, smoother, or more gradual. Let's break down what each shape does in simple terms. A square. The square acts like an on or off switch for each character. As it moves through the text, each letter is fully affected one at a time before moving to the next. This gives you sharp, punchy animations that are perfect for precise effects. Ramp up. With ramp up, the effect gradually builds across the text. Characters at their start get a little effect, while those at the end are fully animated. Think of it like a wave moving from left to right, great for a natural building motion. Ramp down. Ramp down is the opposite of ramp up. Here the effect starts strong at the beginning and gradually fades out toward the end. Triangle. The triangle picks the effect in the middle and fades it out on both sides. This works well if you want an effect to sweep over the text, reaching its maximum intensity in the center. Round. Round creates a smoothest flow, like a soft wave. The effect gradually builds, peaks, and gently eases down. It is perfect for subtle, gentle movements across your text. Smooth. The smooth gives the text a heavy, flowing motion, building up gradually, peaking, then easing down like a weighted ball. This is also great for creating smooth, gentle transitions. Each shape changes how the animation flows over your text, so you can go for a quick snap, a soft build-up, or a sweeping effect. Let's try it out with ramp, one of the most common algorithms for soft and natural movement. When you use ramp, the animation values cover the entire text from start to finish. So whenever you want a super smooth movement, pick anything but a square. Remember to animate the offset from -100 to +100 or the reverse. This setup gives you topography a smooth, gradual effect starting from the lowest intensity and reaching the strongest effect by the end. Now let's switch to triangle, round, or a smooth instead of ramp up. Set the start value and watch how it changes the look. Animate the offset instead. Now you see how the smooth movement flows from the first character to the last. And that wraps up the third topography principle. Fixed properties and animated the offset from -100 to +100. Let's dive into the main differences between these algorithms. Start by creating a new composition and adding the text differences. Set position and scale properties. Then push the text up or down slightly. Set the scale to 0. We have seen how a square behaves, so now let's switch to ramp up or ramp down and animate the offset. When you move the rain selector offset, it transitions each character from the current value to the default value. What are these values? The default value is where you have originally placed your text, at its final posture or position. The current value is the starting place or setup you've created by setting new properties for the animation. Here is how the algorithm handles it. Ramp up and ramp down move each letter from the current value to the default value. Triangle, round, and smooth have different flows. They move letters from the default to the current value, then return back to the default. Let's get hands-on with this exercise to see this principle in action. Start by creating a new composition and add the text Topography Principle 03. Apply a position property and enable per character 3D. Move the position along the z-axis so it shifts across the camera. Now for the fun part. Open the Advanced setting. Select Ramp Up in the Shape section. Animate the offset from -100 to 100 over 4 seconds. Preview what you have got so far. Let's add a bit more flair. Set a rotation value of 180 to twist it. Add a blur effect and set it to 35 for extra smoothness. Active randomize order for a touch of variation. Take a look at how each character flows in with a smooth, soft transition. Comparison time. Now switch the shape to a square and replay. Notice the difference? With a square, each character jumps in more sharply, giving a snappy effect, whereas Ramp Up offers a gradual wave-like flow. Check it out and see which style fits best. Let's quickly recap our topography principles. The first principle: a fixed range selector with animated properties, moving all characters together. The second principle: an animated range selector with fixed properties creates motion character by character, word by word, or line by line. The third principle: fixed properties with an animated offset from -100 to +100, making characters flow smoothly and softly. Now it's time to introduce the fourth principle. But before we dive in, let's look at another cool feature: Wiggly. The Wiggly selector adds random movement to your text based on the properties you set. It brings a lively, unpredictable feel to animations. Here is how to try it out. Create a new composition and write a text like Wiggly. Apply a rotation and set it to 90 degrees. Go to the selector, Wiggly. Look how Wiggly makes your text pop with random, lively motion. Wiggly is a real fun option for text animation. It adds random, jittery motion for your text, almost like it's vibrating or wiggling in place. It's perfect for making your text feel lively, playful, or a bit chaotic. Here are the main Wiggly parameters. Randomness. And instead of following a set path, the Wiggly animator moves each letter randomly, making them shift and wiggle around. You can apply this effect to properties like position, rotation, or scale. Frequency and magnitude. These are the main controls for Wiggly. Frequency controls how fast the letters wiggle. Higher frequency means quicker movement. Magnitude determines how far each letter wiggles from its original spot. Higher magnitude results in more intense wiggles. Correlation. This lets you control whether the letters wiggle together or independently. Set a high correlation if you want all the letters to wiggle in sync. Use a low correlation for more chaotic individual movement. Min and max amount. These controls limit how much the wiggle effect can affect each letter, so you can keep it under control if you don't want it to get too wild. Weebly can add some personality to your text animations, perfect for title or any animation that needs a lively, energetic vibe. And don't forget, add a property like blur to see the full range of effects Weebly can create. The last principle, expression. First of all, what is an expression? In After Effects, an expression is a small piece of code written in JavaScript that you apply to a property to create complex animations or automate changes, all without needing keyframes. Think of an expression as a mini program that tells After Effects what to do based on certain conditions or calculations. For example, instead of manually animating text to bounce, you can apply an expression like bounce to the position property and it'll automatically create the bouncing effect for you. Expressions save time and they'll give you more control by allowing you to create dynamic effects through code. This makes your animations not only more efficient but also more powerful. How to use this principle? This principle is simple and doesn't need any fancy, just properties and expressions. Create a new composition and write a text like Principle 04. Add scale and rotation properties. Set rotation to 90 degrees and scale to 0. Now add an expression and open the amount section. You will need a bounce expression, but don't worry, I've got you covered. Just copy the expression from the description below and paste it right there. Easy peasy. These codes add a super soft and bouncy animation to your text without using any keyframes, all based on properties. The expression starts from the endpoint, the beginning of the text layer. You can move the text layer to start the animation at any point you like. Let's explore the variation code like delay, frequency, and bouncing. Delay. This sets a delay of 0.03 seconds for each character. So instead of animating all at once, each character follows the previous one with a slight pause, creating a cool, staggered effect. Frequency. This controls how often the animation happens. By setting it to 2, each character will bounce back and forth twice per second. Amplitude. This defines how far each character moves from its starting position. In this case, it moves 60 pixels in both directions, giving it a nice bouncy feel. Decay. This controls how quickly the bouncing fades out over time. A high decay means the movement slows down quickly, giving it a smooth, natural easing effect. You can easily edit these values to change the movement. You can also add multiple expressions to the source text property, but keep in mind that these won't affect the animation or movement. They are not part of the typography principles. For example, write any text you want. Hold Alt and click on the source text to open the expression editor. Add the expression. Time to frame. This will change your text based on the frame that elapsed. Or try this one. Add time to current format. Preview these expressions. Note, these expressions will affect the source text, but they won't impact the text movement. Therefore, they are not considered typography principles. In this series, we've covered the core principles of typography animation, from fixed range selectors to animating offsets and exploring the power of expressions. These principles give you the foundation to create smooth, dynamic text animations. Based on my experiences, using these principles will help you stay organized with your text movements and avoid getting lost in all those scattered values. When you practice these techniques, you will start to develop your unique style in motion typography. Keep experimenting with each principle and soon your animations will stand out. Remember to download the project file from the description and feel free to mix and match those animations for your intros, outros, or any other projects you are working on. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell to get more motion design tips and tricks. I'll see you soon on the next episode of the daily life of a motion designer.